Hey. All right, welcome. Happy Monday evening to everybody. Halloween Eve. And I'm excited to be on our call 2 of our booking boot camp. And just to barely kind of recap last night's call, the call number 1, we were just talking about just getting prepared, being ready. What's one thing? Aldana, I know Laura, you kind of were having issues with internet connection last night. What's one thing that we were talking about as far as getting prepared?
Planning,
knowing your next 2 available show dates, always in your head. And even better yet, well, you definitely want to know those next 2 show dates always, but I would recommend going ahead and marking your calendar even all the way through January. If you have a January calendar. I have a student calendar, so mine goes like July to June. But here's why, because we're getting that time in the year where if they don't book their calendar now, sometimes people might say what?
Too busy.
Call me in January. Call me after the holidays. Now, we still have lots of time before that because we can really encourage let's have a party soon so everybody gets their stuff back before Thanksgiving. Let's have our party next week so we can have everything, people can start their Christmas shopping and things like that. But it's important to have your January even marked off, because if somebody says, oh gosh, I can't do anything after the holidays, you can say, you know what, let's go ahead and get your January booked. I don't know the details yet, but January is one of the best host bonuses of the year. In the last probably 10 years, it's been double free. So just to let you know. But if you're prepared, like Aldana said, then you can go ahead while you have them on the phone and set that January date, or at least pencil it in, right? Because it's easier with our excitement, with our host coaching letters and things to keep it. So that's the main thing. The other thing is don't spend your time that you've set aside to make contacts gathering information. So have your call list ready to go before you actually sit down to call, and then start showing up for work now, right? So if you want to do 2 parties a week and you don't have any scheduled, pick at least 2 times this week that you can spend an hour on the phone making contacts. Okay? All right, so there's our little recap in 2 minutes. So tonight, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about really booking parties outside of parties is going to be the main focus. One of the things I talked about last night is I showed you how to go on Consultant's Corner, and under PCU, click on Resources, which is at the top right, and then go to Booking. There's it's called Booking Table Talk Guide, and the one for that has all kinds of scripts. So what I want to do tonight is I want to just talk a little bit about a couple of options to kind of help get juices flowing. I did mention this last night. I kind of got ahead of myself because I wanted you guys to go ahead and be thinking as you're marking your calendar, when can I do my own party? When can I do my mystery host show? When can I do my customer appreciation event? And I will say, if you've been in business for a year, everybody here has, you can do a customer appreciation event. And you don't have to have a ton of products to give away like I do in my closet. You can give away the host benefits. So you're calling it a customer appreciation event. Maybe you're not doing a demo. Maybe you have a nice pot of soup on the stove, and you have a dessert going, maybe an appetizer, and you're really promoting it like, come and sample some of the new fall recipes, do some shopping for gifts, and you could win the prizes, right? And you can certainly maybe even, to let everybody know whoever places an order gets a current season's best. It's $2, or you can add it to the host order since it's coming to your house. The host order is coming to your house, So there's something to think about. Bethany, I know you're sitting here going, okay, I live 2 hours away from all my hosts and stuff. But I know you also have a long distance host. So there might be a way, especially since it's a mystery hostess kind of show, that you could even do something virtually. Okay.
Well, I just started a mystery host party that's going to, starts tomorrow, I think. So
Perfect. So that's the thing that you can control right now. I'm going to host my own party. So go ahead and get that scheduled. This is also a great source of future bookings. My customer appreciation event is on Thursday. I always love to do that because I'm going to pamper them. I'm going to offer them a huge incentive to book a party because I want those future bookings. So the reason I want you to go ahead and schedule this before you start making your contacts is because as you're on the phone with somebody, if they can't book a party, which they may not always book party, right? Not everybody's going to book, right? Which is fine. They're not saying, no, I don't like you. They're saying, no, I'm not going to do a party right now. You got to keep that in your head. You know what? I totally get it. But Bethany, I would love for you to let me pamper you and come to my event. I'm having a fun customer appreciation event, or however that works. Does that make sense? So
yeah. What are you offering as an incentive for bookings?
Well, at this point, what I'm offering is I do have a ton of products that I'm going to be giving away. And so for me, I actually set the event up a little earlier. So like if they hosted an October party, they got 25 extra tickets. If they schedule their November or December party, they're going to get 10 extra tickets. So obviously the ones on the second, they can still get those for, so that's kind of where I am now. I really was hoping to have my November full by Thursday. I still could put in 4 cooking shows toward the end of the month. But we'll see. I might throw something else in. But it could be something like, I don't have it with me. I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself because this is actually one of the other weeks. But like you could offer like a little incentive, like if you have certain dates you want to book. These are just those pretty pictures from marketing imagery. I put 4 different pictures of 4 different things on a piece of paper and I printed it off. And it just says bonus booking gift. And I put the value of each picture. And then I put a particular date that I want to fill. And I filled some dates with that. So that's kind of nice. So I might do something like that if there's some specific dates in November I want to pick. I want to book that night. Here's a couple things. Let's talk about what other kind of events could you host yourself? Maybe it's not a mystery hostess or a customer appreciation event.
When I was in Kansas City, I did recipe nights. And that was fun just to have like friends together. It was no pressure to buy, but I always had a few orders at least. So. Okay.
Let's take it and run with this idea because, and I loved how you did that. You kind of took our recipe night we did as a team and just kind of did your own thing. And that's a great way to create loyalty. Let's talk about workshops. So we can have things called shows. We can have things called parties. You can have things called workshops. Here's a couple of things I've been hearing. And I want you guys to think about this and think about what else you can do. Have you heard of the Deep Cover Baker workshop?
No.
Grill pan.
Deep Covered Baker?
Deep Cover Baker workshop. The grill pan workshop. Kind of fun. Bethany was talking about recipe night. One leader had shared that she does a rate the recipe night. So it's one of those where her name is Karen Smith. She shared this idea on a call. I know I posted the call to our team page, but she says she invites friends, past hosts, and customers to try out some new fall recipes to help her decide which recipes to offer. So it's kind of one of those things where, hey, like kind of what Bethany said, and you don't have to say you have to come and order, but you come, give everybody a catalog, maybe and I think this particular one, she has maybe a couple of recipes already done, and they may actually do like one recipe they put together, themselves, kind of like a demo so they can see the products being used. So then they're going to sample the recipes and things like that. And even on those kind of things, you can say, hey, anybody who places an order tonight will get a season's best. So that's an option too. The one pot meal workshop. So Eldana, you were saying you hadn't heard these. So in a situation like this, you're going to invite people who have been to parties. Maybe you're going to definitely invite all your Deep Cover Baker purchasers, right? If you're doing a rock crock one, you're going to invite all your rock crock purchasers to come. I'm going to teach you more. I want you to take full advantage of your Deep Cover Baker that you've purchased. And you might have, maybe you need to borrow a Deep Cover Baker from, another consultant if you only have one. I'm sorry, my dog's chewing some of that. But you're going to share with them 2 or 3. Maybe you have a couple of recipes made in the baker. maybe you have some of that bread that's made in the baker that's already out of the baker, so you can use it for something else. So, and then you can talk about some other things. Maybe even have like a little thing of recipes you can either email to people that come or have them, you hand them out to them. So here's what you're going to do during that workshop. Some people may have the deep cover baker already. Some people may not have it, but they're wondering, is it really worth it? Are they going to use it? So what is going to happen is you're going to kind of really, the people that have a deep cover baker already, you're going to kind of sell them the accessories to make the job even easier. The salad choppers, the tongs, the seasonings, the quick slice, the slicer, the chopper, you know, all those kind of things. The people that don't have a deep cover baker, you're going to give them all kinds of ideas and inspiration so they buy the baker. So that's an option. The one pot meal, this is my friend Lisa Pohl she's in Becky's downline too. So some of you that are at our conference probably met her. She was at Becky's like little pizza night, but she's been doing like a one pot meal workshop where she has station style set up. And this is one of the things she offers her hosts too. And they basically are going to enjoy 2 main dishes that she puts together in about 15 minutes. And then she's given them printouts of more recipes. But I was thinking you could always save money by even just emailing it to them too, instead of printing them out, right? The other thing that she does is she just shares with them, and I think she found some of this grocery list on Pinterest, and she just shares with them, hey, I have a permanent grocery list. Like I have the non-perishables for these 5 or 6 recipes in my kitchen at all times. So she kind of is teaching them kind of a little bit of meal planning without having a whole meal planning workshop or calling it that. So those are things we can maybe on our team page kind of talk about. What are some things that we can share if we did a one pot meal or you know, workshop or class? Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. So these workshops or classes or things that we're offering are things where they're going to see the products in use. They're going to enjoy recipes, but we're also going to give them tips and ideas that they're like, oh, so glad I came. I learned something that I can take home and use to take stress out of the kitchen, out of the dinner planning and things like that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Any questions? Any other ideas?
I don't bake. I don't do cookies or anything. But I used to do bundt pans in the 70s, and I'm thinking about buying one now. And I was thinking about doing some sort of like a baking day, and having everybody, I mean, they could pre-order or they could just come and decorate or whatever, because I don't feel confident with that stuff at all. But I have a lot of friends who do bake, and I thought I might be able to provide the new fluted stuff, and then they can mess with it, and then, you know, then maybe take it home.
Let's talk about this a little bit, because I love this idea. And now, Donna, I think we're the same in that, like, the idea of giving a baking workshop gives me hives, because I
don't bake.
Makes me a little bit because I don't bake. But I will say I have baked fluted cakes in the big fluted pan more than once. One of them even from scratch, because it was gluten-free, dairy-free for my sister. It was beautiful and easy and delicious. And I made little mini bunts too. Now, let's talk through this, because I like what you said. Like, you don't know if it's a pre-order, because I was thinking in my head to do like a pie workshop or a baking workshop, and maybe offer a couple of different sets that people are going to purchase one of those sets ahead of time, so that when they come to your house, maybe you're providing some ingredients, you know, where they can, like, so that you guys can make some pies like in your stuff, or maybe you know, they are going to use some of their products, you know, that they have to make and take things home. So I think that's another good topic that we can brainstorm around. Like, how can we make this like a lucrative part? Because the idea of pre-ordering is that you know you have some sales, right? You're kind of getting the sales before you do the demo. But value for them is, you know, a lot of times, how many times have you seen something like, oh, that looks so cute, and then I'll do that, and then you buy it, and then it just sits in the box.
Right.
Right? So the benefit for your customers is that not only are they buying it, but they have a fun thing that they get to go to. They get to try it out when the person's still there that can help them figure it out, right? It's going to be fun. They can even get some things baked up ahead of time, maybe what you do is maybe you have all the eggs and the oil, you know, and they each bring like, in the flour, even if that's cheap. But like if they want to do like, so maybe you have the ingredients for like the pie dough and they bring whatever filling they want to fill their pies with. Or, you know, if they want to make a fluted pan, they bring the cake mix and you have like the eggs and oil. So let's get a thread going. I'm making myself little notes. So one pot meal, and it might be a thread that maybe it's just a thread with the 4 of us on it. And then whoever watches the video, you know, because I feel like this is something that, this is kind of one of the benefits of jumping on. And I like the baking. So I'm glad you said that, Aldana. I love that idea.
Well, some of my people who could bake could actually show others how to. And I wouldn't be involved. And I would be happy with that.
Well, you'll be involved because you're bringing everybody together. But
well, and I could provide the eggs and the oil, you know? It's like, hey.
That's right. Okay, so I like that idea, a baking day or a baking workshop. Okay, so here's the thing. I love these ideas. I love the different workshops and the different valued options that we're offering our hosts and our customers. So we're going to have to pick up the phone. We're going to have to call them, right? Now, obviously, a baking workshop, a one-pot meal workshop would be something that you could post about and then follow up with people. I am going to, for time's sake, I'm going to share with you guys an Evernote, the 4 of you here on the call, that has some words to say. Like I already told you that Booking Table Talk is another great source. In fact, some of these words could come from that. But I want to just highlight a couple of things before we wrap up. First, when you're making the phone call, right, and you actually get somebody on the phone, what's a good way to start?
A bad time?
Hey, this is Laura Cooper Chav. Is this a bad time? Am I catching you at a bad time? Because usually they're going to say no, because usually it's not a bad time if they're actually answering the phone, right? That's perfect, Laura. Okay. So then what?
Well, I made some calls on Saturday morning, which was surprisingly a great time for everybody.
Yeah.
And I just thanked them for ordering off of the party that I had just closed and talked to them briefly about, you know, I mentioned at least one thing that they ordered, you know, from their cart, and then asked them if they had any questions. So they knew I was actually like focusing on them as a customer and not just not knowing who they were.
Yeah. Brilliant. That's awesome. And I think that's important because it's not like sometimes even on Facebook, even if you're messaging people on Facebook or you're texting people, if you can mention something specific about the order that they placed, then they know it's not just a copy and paste, right?
Mm-hmm. Even if you do copy and paste it and change the name of the product.
Right. Exactly. I'm not saying you can't copy and paste, but you're going to do something that personalizes it, right? So here's the thing. I do always recommend having a script so that way you don't get off on tangents. I am the queen of tangents, so I know how that works. If you tell them right away, they say it's not a bad time, you can say, okay, great, I'm calling for 2 reasons. First, maybe you're asking about, are you enjoying the product? Do you have any questions about this product? Blah, blah, blah. Second, and I'm just gonna read what I have here that I'll share. Second, I'm adding 4 new parties to my November calendar, and I'm also booking in December. Our fall products are fantastic for holiday baking and gift giving. I'd love to pamper you and your friends with a fun night of food and share a new fall recipe. What do you think about earning half price and free products of your choice? You know, I'm not saying, do you want to have a party? Or can I work with you on a party? Or can I come to your house for a party? I'm saying, what do you think? Or what do you think your friends would enjoy more? One pot ideas or wine, cheese, and chocolate wine down party? You know what I mean? So you're giving them choices and you're asking what they think. And we're avoiding, what kind of questions are we avoiding?
Yes, no.
Yes, no questions. Bethany, you look like you were starting to say something.
Well, I was just going to ask, for your virtual shows, when you do the follow-up calls, do you call like after you close the party, or do you call once they should have received their product?
And that's a good question because I'm not really good at following up on virtual parties at this point, but I also haven't done a whole lot of them. You've probably done more of them than I have lately. But I will say this past month or so, I've done more than I normally do, and I just have not done a good job at following that as well. But okay. I can see the benefits to both. You can call, right after. Hey, thanks so much for your order. The order's, on the way, blah, blah, blah. And just say, hey, I'll give you a call in a couple weeks to see if you have any questions once you receive it. You know what I mean? Because that's, again, you're not really calling that first time to ask for anything. So the next time you call, you might offer,
Mm-hmm.
So does anybody else have any, how do you guys do your, I guess the same would be true for a cooking show. Follow-up calls too, as far as what if you call them right after the order is submitted, or if you wait a couple weeks. It kind of goes back to that 2x2x2, right?
Mm-hmm.
Another thing too that I want to make sure I mention is the context of leaving a voicemail. So when you leave a voicemail, do you want to end with, hey, so call me back. My number is blah, 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 blah. No.
I always say I will call you back I usually say 2 days, just so they don't feel like, oh my gosh, she's calling me every single day.
Yeah.
So.
And you know what? And I think that's great. If you might be like me, where I kind of get afraid to like, oh, if I commit to call back on Thursday and then.
Yes.
Calls,
yeah. That's the other thing.
Yeah. So here's a thought. Hey, Bethany, sorry I missed you. It was fun meeting you at Eldana's party last week. I know things are crazy this time of year, so I'll keep trying to call you until we're able to connect.
Okay.
You're not giving them a particular time. Hey, I'm going to keep trying to call you until we're able to connect. Just wanted to make sure you're enjoying your products and all that. In the meantime, if you need my number, here it is. So you're leaving your number, but you're not asking them to call you back. You're letting them know you're going to call them back. Okay? So we talked about this at our meeting earlier this month, is when you're doing text, you keep them short and sweet. Okay? And really voicemails too, kind of short and sweet. You might kind of wet their whistle with a little something. Like, I'm so excited Pampered Chef has amazing bonuses for our November host. Can I tell you more about them? So the text is just really quick. And then until you get them engaged. Okay? So I will email some of these scripts that I have here ready to go. Any questions? Like you have, but
I was just going to ask, have you ever done a hostess of the month?
For a group of like 12 people that each month they're going to spend so much money. I personally haven't done that, but I have friends that do it every year.
Okay.
One friend does it what she calls a dinner club. So kind of like a recipe night, like what you were talking about. It's always at her house, and it seems like each person brings some ingredients too. It seems like, and then each person's committing to, I think she does it for 10 months in a row. And she'll just do it for like 10 months. Maybe it starts February and ends December, or it starts January and ends in October. She just does it for 10 months because then each person's committing to spend at least $20 a month in product, right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe 25. Anyway, whatever it is. So she does it. She does some of that. So I'll try to find the information that she shared and send it to you.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. So here's the thing. Next call is going to be on Friday, 11:30. So once you guys get the script, and if you're watching the recording, message me and let me know you would like the script because you have seen the video, and I will gladly send them to you. I don't want to overwhelm anybody with all this information. I feel like sometimes I get overwhelmed. I get hit with too many things and I can't find what I'm looking for. So I will send you the scripts. I will challenge you as you are spending your time working this week, whether it's an hour on the phone or texting, or if you're at a party, I want you guys to be able to implement some of these ideas and really feel empowered because you're going to have parties on your calendar for the fall. as we're in, here's the thing, bookings right now are going to lead to parties in December, which are going to lead to parties in January. And what we're going to be building on our next call, the main focus is going to be kind of a variety of things that we offer, which some of the ideas from tonight, maybe we can have tweaked a little bit more by Friday and talk about those a little more specifically. And then the Saturday call, which is the last one on, not Saturday, Sunday, I had to change it to Sunday at 2, is going to be more booking parties at parties. Because by this time, once we've implemented all these ideas and we have live parties on our calendar, we want to be at the point where we're booking at least 2 parties for every party. We don't have to depend necessarily on the phone. Excited?
Yeah.
Well, I just kind of want to bring you up to speed